Hey guys, what's going on? My name is Tony Martinez. I'm the owner and founder of TKO Financial Network. Let me adjust this camera here real quick. I want to show you kind of the new merch, right? Pretty cool, right? I like it. Anyhow, listen, I wanted to put this video together for the brand new associate, someone that doesn't have experience in the industry, someone that has had a conversation about how they want to begin their business, whether it's going to be working leads or whether it's going to be working their warm market, right? This video is more for the person that said, hey, Tony, or hey, Mr. VP, or hey, Mr. Certified Trainer, I have a warm market and I'd like to work inside of that market first before I go down the path of buying leads. I can tell you personally, I'm 17 years into this industry. When people always ask me, how did I build my book of business? How did I generate my clientele? I'm very big about warm markets. I believe heavily that there's so much opportunity inside of warm markets, but you got to know how to begin that conversation with your warm market, right? If you're trying to figure out what a warm market is, what I'm talking about with warm market is your friends, your family, your old coworkers, your old colleagues, old people people you went to school with, people that you used to work with, people that know you, whether they know you very, very well or they don't know you very, very well. But people that essentially, when you call them or you send them a message on social media, they'll go, oh yeah, what's up? I remember you, right? That's considered a warm market, right? Now, I'm very big about it, but I'm also very big about being very honest, right? You're going to hear from a lot of different organizations that will use a script-like mentality when it comes to calling that market. They'll use a bait and switch mentality where they're going to say, hey, listen, we just want to meet with you. And, this is for my training. And, I'm not expecting you to do anything. I'm not expecting you to buy. And then they'll kind of do a bait and switch. And then towards the end, they'll try to sell them and push a product. Nobody wants that. Nobody, especially a brand new agent who's new to the industry. Nobody wants to feel like, man, my warm market was just vandalized. They were just poached and attacked. And now I'm getting text messages and calls from my warm market that they're upset with me because no one told them over the phone that they were expected to buy anything, right? I'm not a big fan of that. And so I want to put this video together for you so that you can understand how to properly approach that market, how to be very upfront and honest, and how not to sound like a script. Nobody wants to sound like a script, right? So I say this because you know how you contact your brother. You know how you call your sister. You know how you call your best friend. You know how you call your coworkers. We all know. Right? That's not a, hi, how are you? This is Tony. How's your day going? Like, people can read through that. And so I want to talk to you a little bit about that today. If you're that person that says, I have a warm market, I have people that I want to help, I just don't know how to do it, this video is for you. This video is 100% absolutely for you. So here's step one. Step one, simple. Sit down in the evening when you're done with your day. If you got kids are asleep, right? If you're done with your job, sit down, get a glass of wine, get a beer, get a cocktail, get whatever you want, water, tea, whatever you want. Sit down in a quiet place with a legal notepad, okay? Or you can go into our back office and print out one of our top 25 sheets if you wish. That's not a problem. Just go into the TKO website under documents and resources, and you'll see there's a number of folders there. One of the folders there is going to have a top 25 sheet. Or you just take out a legal pad. And what I want you to do is I want you to think back. Go back the last 10 years, places that you've worked at. Go back the last 10 years, places you went to school at. Go back the last 10 years, places that you lived at. Go back the last 10 years, groups that you were a part of, sports clubs, whatever you were a part of, PTA organizations, school organizations, whatever it was. Go back 10 years and go year by year in your mind and go, okay, what did I do then and who did I interact with? What did I do then and who did I interact with? What did I do then and who did I interact with? Put together a list. Put together a list, right, of everybody you know. Now, your first 10, I take that back. Before you go back 10 years, your first 10 should be these types of people. It should be the type of person that if you received a phone call on a random day, and on that call, you heard a message that something catastrophic happened to that person, you would be in tears, right? But that first 10 needs to be the people that you absolutely, beyond a reasonable, without a doubt, you want to make sure they get a chance to get the right types of insurances in place or the right chance to get a retirement plan in place. Because if something happened to them, whether it was a disability, a sickness, a death, and the inability to retire when they're out of retirement, if something happened to them, you would utterly be emotionally distraught because something happened to them, and and they're not in a good place, or they left people behind in a worse place, knowing that you have a license that allows you to have provided the benefits, the resources, the solutions, so that the family that's left behind isn't financially harmed, or if the person is still here, they are still protected, right? Because let me tell you something, having this license that we carry is a blessing. But when you find out someone in your warm market, something happened to them and you didn't get a chance to chat with them, you feel a little bit of guilt. You feel a little bit of guilt. You feel that little bit of, man, I should have talked to them. I could have protected them from becoming victims of the GoFundMe program. I could have protected them where, you know, the family that's left behind isn't struggling financially. They can grieve the right way. They can process the issue the right way without feeling like they got to go back to work, or, you know, they got a disability. My goodness, you know, I wish that I would have talked to them about replacement of income so that during this disability, they could have healed and not have to worry about the finances. Or, man, I wish I would have gotten to them because they got to 65 years of age and they're still working because they just don't know what solutions are available to them in order to successfully retire and not have to go back to work. Put that first 10 list, first 10. If you can go more, even better, but I challenge you to get 10. That should be the first 10. The remaining people, that's where I want you to go back 10 years. That's where I want you to go back 10 years and, you know, where did you work at? Where did you attend? You know, what residence did you live in that maybe you don't any longer? What schools did you go to that you're no longer at? What job are you currently at that somebody might have worked there before? And I mean, I want you to think of everybody you know, even if you don't have their number. If you know their name and you can find them on social media, that's good. So a lot of people communicate on social media, right? If you have their number, even better. But if you don't, it's okay. Put their name down. Go to the social media, see if you can find them. I want you to put that list together. Right? Again, do that quietly in your own room, you know, boom. Here's what's crazy. You're going to start categorizing people. You're going to start saying, man, this person will buy from me. This person won't. This person will buy from me. This person won't. And you'll start to question the ones that don't. Should I even have them on the list? Here's my advice. Here's from my experiences. I've trained hundreds of people. I've trained hundreds, not thousands of people. And here's what I've learned from my experiences. Those that you think will buy, sometimes are the first ones to hold off. And those that you think won't buy, sometimes are the first ones to buy. Nobody walks around with a stamp on their forehead that says, I'm looking for retirement solutions, insurance solutions, income solutions, credit. Nobody does. They don't advertise that. You'd be amazed which people say, I'm so glad you called me at the time that you did because I am looking. You'd be amazed. You'd be amazed. Go back 10 years. Put together that list. Now, let me give you a couple, phrases that might help you trigger a couple other people, right? Think about people who just got married. Think about people who just got divorced. Think about people who just had a baby. Think about people who just lost somebody. Think about people who just relocated. Think about people who just changed jobs. Think about people who've been affected from, COVID-19 and maybe they're unemployed because of it. Think about people who've gone through a life-changing experience in their life. Think about the people like that, right? So look what I just gave you. I just gave you 3 categories of people, right? The first category is the immediate first top 10 that you would shed tears over if something happened to them. Second is whoever you can come up with in the last 10 years that you would have interacted with, whether it was work, school, or whatever, right? The third are those key phrases that I just mentioned. Who comes up to mind when you think about that? Put that list together. Put their names, put their numbers down next to that. Put their relationship to you next to their phone number, right? Find them on social media if you don't have their phone number, but put them on the list. Now here's the challenge. A lot of people say to me, Tony, am I going to be able to sit in on some trainings, before I go out there to the field? Here's my answer to you. Yes, but those trainings are going to have to come from your meetings. See, you have to understand something. A field trainer, someone like myself, we really don't work our own personal clientele any longer. I am so busy with training and developing agents that if I'm in a meeting in the field, chances are that meeting is a meeting that was generated through another agent that's also learning. So who's already participating in my meetings? The agent that originated that meeting, right? So it's hard for me to invite you to my own meetings when that meeting really isn't mine to begin with. It's coming from a new agent, right? A lot of field trainers will agree and tell you the exact same thing. They don't really work their own clientele any longer. If they're a field trainer, I promise you, they're way busy with trainees. So the best way you can get out to the field is by doing what's called TIA, training in action, right? These are your meetings that you've scheduled. And what better meeting to be at than one that you can financially profit on, right? So How do you get to the field and start learning? This is the part where you might not like my answer, but it's a very honest answer. Very honest answer. Those phone calls have to be made by you. It's going to be very hard to get a certified trainer to block off an hour, hour and a half to make phone calls for you. It's going to be very hard. And I'll be honest with you, there's not much education in that. You're going to sit in and listen to me contact your closest relatives, knowing that I would not speak to your closest friends and family and relatives the way you speak to them. I wouldn't. And therefore that call is not really going to be an educational relevant call that you can learn something from and go, okay, that's how I would do it. It's not. You've got to be willing to make that phone call. You've got to be willing to make that phone call. You could do it with somebody there to observe and coach you through it. Cool. Or you could do it on your own. A lot of agents like to do it on their own because there's that awkwardness, that feeling of rejection. I understand. I get it. I've been through that. Okay. But ultimately, that first domino has to be you. That first domino, put together the list. That second domino, call that list before the third domino begins. The third domino is the sexy domino. The third one is, oh my goodness, we've got a meeting scheduled and you're now going to go to that meeting with a field trainer. A field trainer who has credibility, experience. A field trainer who's going to run that meeting so that you can do what? Observe and take notes and learn the business. And if there happens to be a sale, guess what? It's a sale that you get to financially profit in because it's one of your meetings. It's one of your meetings. So you're learning intellectual property you never have to give back, and you're generating income along the way. That's the best type of training, right? On the job training, TIA, training in action, right? So step one, put together that list. Step two, be willing to call that list. So now that's the $1 million question. How in the world do I call these people? I'm going to talk to you about how I'm going to coach you right now on what to say and how to say it. But ultimately, this is not a script. I want you to be organic. I want you to be you. 100%. I want you to be organic. I want you to be you, but I also want you to be honest and direct. This is not a bait and switch. This is a very honest and direct conversation. Honest and direct conversation. Statistically, if you put together a list of at least 25, I can almost guarantee you'll get at least 3 to 5 sales. If you put a list together greater than 25, it's your benefit, it's your market, it's your income, right? Less than 25, it's going to be a little bit harder, but statistically, at least 25, you're going to make 3 to 5 sales. Here's how you call people. Number one, you're going to call them the way you normally would. However you call your mom, your dad, your brother, your uncle, your cousin, whatever, even if it's someone that you haven't talked to in a while, however you would do it, do it. Hi, how are you? Hey, what's going on, mom? Hey, what's going on, bro? If it's your brother, what's going on, bro? Right? If it's your sister, in your language, in your dialect, whatever, call them. And then just be very honest with them. Say, hey, listen, I want to ask you for a favor. I want to ask you for a favor. But before I ask you for this favor, I need you to promise me you're going to tell me no. Absolutely. You're going to tell me no if you're not comfortable doing it. I need you to promise me that you're going to tell me no. You're going to tell me no if you're not comfortable doing it. And I will not ask you for this favor until you promise me. That's how you're going to talk to them. They're going to say, I promise, bro. What's up, man? What's going on? John, what's going on? Steve, what's going on? Jennifer, what's going on? Stephanie, what's up? That's what they're going to want to know. They're going to promise because they want to know. And they're all ears. They want to know because you sound like this is something important, which it really is. It's important for your education, for their financial well-being, for your career, your business you're trying to build. It's important. I want to ask you a question, but I want you to promise me you'll tell me no if you're not comfortable with this. I need you to promise me before I tell you. Cool. Once they promise, they got to verbally say it. They can't say, yeah. No, I promise. Once they say it, then you say, look, I just recently got my license in the financial services industry. And this license lets me help people with insurance protection, retirement plannings, credit, a number of things. I don't know too much about it other than what the books taught me, but I would love an opportunity to sit with you. I would love an opportunity to sit with you on a virtual meeting, talk to you for about 30, 45 minutes. However, I want to bring with me my mentor, my trainer. I want to bring him with me because he or she, whoever that's going to be, right, has a world of experience in this industry. They know exactly what to do. And I'm trying to learn. From that person. So if you're okay with it, I want to sit with you for 30, 40 minutes and share with you some of the services that my license is now allowing me to participate in, and make sure that if you do have any questions about it or any interest in it, that you've got someone that you can ask questions to that has experience and credibility, something that I yet don't have. Is that okay with you? Right? You know what they're going to ask you? They might ask you a couple of things. They might say, listen, are you going to try to pitch me something? Are you going to try to sell me something? Your answer is going to be this. Listen, I have a license and I can make money selling it, right? But you don't have any obligation whatsoever to buy anything. If anything we talk about seems to be of interest, I want you to talk about it. But if it doesn't seem of interest, then just tell me, hey, I'm not interested in it. I want to learn about the products and services. And the only way I can get these trainers out to the field with me is by actually having a meeting, right? Now, Mom, I'm going to tell you right now, I love you, right? John, cousin, aunt, uncle, I'm going to tell you right now, I love you. And do I think you should have life insurance in place? Absolutely. And if you don't, I would love for you to purchase from me. I'd love to help you with that, right? Do you want to retire? I'd love to help you with retirement. So if there is something that we offer that you don't have, that you believe in and you value, I want you to mention, I want you to talk about it. I would love for you to be my first client, but I'm not here to force you. I'm here to learn. I'm here to share with you what it is I do, because even if you don't buy now, you could definitely probably buy later. Even if you don't buy from me, you could refer me to somebody that does, but how are you going to refer me to something you don't know that I offer until I share with you what I offer? Are you okay with that? And if you're not, bro, I'm totally okay with it. You see how honest that was? You see how unscripted that was? That was just real. Here's the catch. The biggest hesitation your warm market's going to have, and the biggest reason most people say no, is because they believe that you're going to go to the field by yourself and you don't have enough credibility to handle their money or handle their insurance. And they don't want to tell you that, so they'll tell you no. So you have to make sure, however which way you say it, the one thing out of everything I talked to you about right now that you include in your script is the fact that you're bringing with you a field trainer that has experience, credibility, that'll be able to answer all the questions that you have. And you won't have to worry about working with someone that's unexperienced like I am. You have to mention that. They have to know that you're bringing with you someone that is credible, someone that they can trust with their money because they have the background and the experience. If you don't tell them that and they think you're going by yourself, I promise you, their guards are up and they won't even tell you about it. They won't even tell you about it. You do that, some people will tell you, no, I'm good. Why? Because in their head, they don't want to share their financial situation with family. That's normal. Respect it. It's fine. Some people will tell you yes, but you're not doing a bait and switch. You're being very honest. You're being very direct. When you get that meeting scheduled, make sure you go to your certified trainer, you look at their calendar, and you block it off on a time period where they're available, you're available, and your client is available. Boom, 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 boom. Right? With me personally, you can go into the TKO website, you can look at my calendar, and you can book an appointment without me. You could book it right there. So while you're on the phone with your client, you could be like, oh, Tony's available. How about 3 o'clock on Friday? Perfect. Boom, block it off. You put the information in, bam, we're ready to go. Right? That's the way you want to do. You want to succeed in this business? I'm going to tell you right now, the first week right after you put that list together, make it a goal of yours to get on 5 meetings. To get on 5 meetings, you need to schedule 7 to 8, just so you know. You need to schedule 7 to 8 so that 5 of them keep. 5 of them keep. The morning of those meetings, I encourage you to shoot a text message to the person that you're meeting with, letting them know how excited you are and how grateful you are that they said yes. That's how you create retention, so people don't cancel on you. The morning of, call them up, text them, text them. Hey, John, listen, I just really wanted to tell you, man, thank you so much for taking that 3 o'clock meeting today. I'm super excited. I've already talked to my trainer. We're ready to go. I'm so eager to learn this business. You have no idea how much that meant to me. Boom. Right? If that person never thought about canceling on you, that guilt is there and they're like, nah, let me come through. Let me come through. And if they do cancel, it gives you an opportunity to reschedule. Don't just say, okay, no problem. Reschedule before they get off with you, and then call the certified trainer and let them know so that they don't waste that hour that was blocked off on their calendar for you to begin with. Hopefully this helps you. I know that I was a little bit long-winded in the explanation, but I do believe this is valuable because, again, there's no domino number 3, which is the first meeting, that leads to, illustrations, applications, underwriting, and commission. There's no domino 3 that helps all the other one activate unless you become decent at domino number 2 and domino number 1. Remember, domino number 1, put the list together. Domino number 2, call those people up. Be real, be direct, be honest. Have a good one. Be blessed. Hopefully this helps you. I'll see you guys on the leaders board. Bye-bye.